Hi there, in today's video I want to go through a couple of things. Firstly, a very quick overview of the features of inform racing. Then I'm going to give you today's selection. There's only one selection for today. And then again I'm going to go over the system builder with a couple of ways you can use it, and let's get on with it. So, inform racing. We have been online since 2003. And we predominantly provide speed ratings. I think we were one of the pioneers of speed ratings on the internet back in the day, and we've continued to successfully be online since 2003. You can start for free. You can access one free meeting every day for life just by clicking the link at the top of the homepage, and this will give you, as it says, one free meeting every day for life. There's no prepayment details required. Just sign up and you can access one full meeting every race from one full meeting every day. Okay, so once we've logged in, you've got the race cards, and here's an example race card from Brighton. All the red numbers are the highest three, so the top three rated. There's a key to the race card down here. You can find out what all of these all the data means. If you hover over each of the rating, you get the details of that race. If you hover over the horse name, you get a full quick view glance of the form for the horse. And there's another box to the left of the horse name which gives you again more detailed form and strike rates over different goings, classes, months, etc. Okay, the little cross here opens up the last 10 form lines, and if you click a link on one of these dates, that'll open the race card for that date, okay, in another window. So that's the race cards, and I say if you sign up for free, you will get today's free meeting, I think, is Pontefract. Okay, so you just you'll be taken to this page. Just click Pontefract or any of the races for Pontefract. Make sure you sign up, and then you can access this for free. So that's the race cards, the system builder. We're going to go through this in a bit more detail shortly. Historic race cards, you can select any date and you'll be able to see all of the race cards for that day as they were before, including the positions and SPs, BSPs, and all the data is as the cards were before the race started. Betting tissue tool, this is where you can select the data that you think is important that goes into finding which horses have the best chance. There's lots of settings you can use here. Basically what it will do is it'll give you your own betting tissue, your own betting forecast. Okay, so once you've decided on a set of criteria, you will click build tissue here. It'll give you your own betting forecast, and then if there's a horse that you think should be, let's say, 2-1 favourite in it, 6-1 or 10-1, then you might have found yourself a value bet. You can also create your very own horse racing ratings using the betting tissue tool. The Inrunning trading tool has plenty of different pages here, and let's find a nice handicap. These provide you with the details for all of the in-running trading data, okay, and Dobbs and the shortest run prices, etc., average run style, average tick drop, all of this stuff. Just make sure you click the user guide before you take a look through the user guide first, okay? So that's a brief overview of the inform racing features, all for the same monthly or 3-monthly or annual cost. The next one I'm just going to show you is the notice board, as we've got today's selection up, and the one bet today is Wind Your Neck in the 410 at Pontefract, and there's only about 6 runners, I think, or 7 runners in. It's the outsider, so fingers crossed we get a nice price. There's a link to all of the results in the description below this video. So you can check back how we've done so far this year and last year. And also there's a link to a free ebook, Winning with Speed, which explains the speed ratings a little bit more and how they can help you find winners that other people won't be looking for. Okay. So that's the selection for today. Let's move on to the system builder, and got this set up here. This is the system builder. Okay. And I was just looking at, we've heard for years and years ago that the concentrate on the first 3 or 4 in the betting, first 4 or 5 in the betting. And so I just wanted to sort of play that through and see how the statistics panned out over the last few years. And this is something you can do with the system builder. So I'm going back from 2002 onwards, just looking at runners between races between 7 and 14 runners, but you can change this if you want to. 7 to 14, 7 to 12, my sort of favourite field size. Flat turf racing, only for this one, just at the minute. You can change that to anything you want to. Handicap races and betting forecast ranked less or equal 4. And we take the betting forecast from the Racing Post. So this is something you can do yourself just if you access the Racing Post website. So I'll run this through, and this is going back to the start of 2022. It's more about the strike rate than anything else for this particular strategy, or whatever you want to call it. There is a big loss, okay? But there's a few things the first thing I wanted to look at, I wanted to make this more about the setup of the race more than the form of the horses, okay? So I'm not interested in how well the horses run, how well handicapped, the goings, etc. So these are all the breakdowns. This breaks down all of the form criteria. You can choose your own, and it shows you that shows you the percentage and strike rate for all of the criteria. You can have lists of trainers and jockeys, etc. But the first thing I wanted to look at was the actual price of the forecast price of the horses. Okay, and as you can see, the first 4 prices that we've got. Okay, so below 9 decimal price, so below 8 to 1. After that, the prices diminish quite rapidly. Okay, so not only is it better to have a horse that's in the first 4 in the betting for a better strike rate, it's better to concentrate on horses that are 8 to 1 or less, decimal price 9. Okay, so we can add that to the system builder easily. Okay, add a rule. Where are we? These are all the criteria you can choose. Betting forecast decimal, okay. Less or equal 9, okay. And run that again. Okay, so see immediately the profit's halved and the strike rate has gone up slightly from, I think it was 15.58, so it's gone up slightly, okay. But the factor that really interested me was the distance of the race. And as you can see, these are all 15, 16% until you get to 12 furlongs, okay, 1.5 miles, and the strike rate jumps up and it continues until 2 miles 1, then it drops back again, okay. I don't know why this is. I think they are experts who produce the betting forecast, and I suppose form is more sparse in longer races, and there's more concrete evidence to go by to create these forecasts, whereas shorter races are a little bit more what would you say? They're a little bit more, it's not as easy to pinpoint which horse is going to win, I suppose. They quite often say 5 furlong races, which horses turn to win 6 furlong races. There's also more of these races at shorter distances, so I don't know. It could be, I think it's just that there's more concrete form to go on, and it's easier to suggest which horses will be the first 4 favourites, okay? So if we take now just races that are 12 furlongs or longer, so a mile and a half or longer, this is all on the flat. Okay. We add that to our set of rules. Race distance greater or equal mile and a half. You could go between, you could have between mile and a half and 2 miles, but I'm just going to, I'll leave the other ones that above that as well. Mile and a half. Okay, so betting forecast, first four in the betting forecast, 8-1 or less forecast price, and race distance, mile and a half or greater. Okay, so I'll run that again. And now see there is a profit, okay, but the strike rate has gone up through to 18.43%. And I have calculated this before, and it's about a 20% increase using the 20% increase in strike rate, only having horses that are 8-1 or less in races of a mile and a half or bigger. Now, with these breakdowns, you can go through and filter this a little bit more yourself if you want to. There's plenty of negatives by looking at it that you could ignore, take out of the calculations. Okay, but I'm just leaving it at this for the minute. And there's also, we're not talking massive profits most of the years, but there's also, so far, there's a profit of 25 points this year. You know, I talk about microsystems, having 5 or 6 microsystems that all make 20, 30, 40 points a year and using them all together. Okay. And as you can see there, this is yesterday's results. And there's 4 in each race. So you're betting 4. You could be betting 5, I think, if there's joint prices. Could be betting 2 or 3 if some are non-runners. But these are the races yesterday on my Fairbot. Where's the first one? There was only 2 races yesterday, and I put £2 on each one. Small profit on this one, okay, because it won. And the second race was the race at Ripon. And it was a nice price, 10.5 on Betfair. Okay, now we backed these 2 as well, and this would have given us a loss in the race if these 2 had won. Okay, a small loss. I mean, I'm only putting £2 on just to play around with this. But another point I wanted to make was, and I'm not suggesting this is a winning system. It's just an idea, but there is a small profit each year. You'll have losses, and there's a losing streak of 32. So that equates to about 8 races, maximum of 8 races. I'm just saying with 4 bets in a race is about 8 races per without a winner. And if you could look at, perhaps, I'm not trying to get anyone to try and double up their stakes or anything like that, but if you played the first 3 races with 1 point, and the next 2 or 3 with 3 points or something like that, and it just increase your stakes lightly. There's only a maximum so far of about 8 races without one of these winning. So it's just something an angle you might want to look at. Okay, I say don't go crazy doubling, tripling stakes and things like that. But you could also only bet the horses that are going to show you a profit in the race, and see how that plays out for you. So in this case, we would have only bet 2 horses. So we'd have saved 2 stakes. Okay. There's just something you might want to look at. And I found it quite interesting that 1 mile 4 and above gave a 20% better strike rate of the first 4 in the betting. Finally, I'm not sure, but if you click declarations, and then apply rules. So you've got your set of rules here. Click declarations and apply the rules. That will give you any selections for this particular system today. And as you can see, there's 8 selections and just 2 qualifying races. Okay. You can see then they're both at Lingfield. So that's, and you can do that. You can open any system that you've got and just click declarations, and you can apply the rules and get your list of selections. Okay. So that's it for the video today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget we've got one selection in the 410 at Pontefract, Wind Your Neck In. Don't forget there's a link below in the description to all of the previous results for this year and last year. And also there's the link for the free ebook, Winning with Speed, which is worth a look. Give you some good ideas on speed ratings and how they can help you to find some winners. Okay, thanks a lot, and I'll be back soon with another video.